Hello and welcome to today's 5 at 5. Thank you so much for joining me. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. The last times we've been together, we have talked a little bit about the message that was preached a week ago, Don't Turn Around. We talked about how important it is to recognize that what God has for us is for us, and we need to be paying attention and focusing on Him and not turning around to see what is going on with someone else or comparing our life to someone else or wanting their life, what we perceive to be better or what we think is fair or not fair. God has a purpose for each one of us. And I want you to know He loves you. And I always think about something my brother Stacy said all the time. Get in where you fit in. God has a place for you. And it's not my place, and I'm not trying to get in your place. We need to get in the place God has for us because He has work for us to do. So that is so important for us to be grateful for what it is He's called us to do. You are special, and your purpose, my purpose, it's unique, and we need to be about our Father's business. So the last time, couple of times we were together, we talked about don't turn around, for Jesus is the Lord. He is in charge. It is about Him. It is not about us. We are to serve Him and to do what it is that He's telling us to do. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, and everything in it belongs to Him. You are not your own. Not only is Jesus the Lord, but He is also the light. And so instead of following this little light over here or this little light over there, He is the light that should have our attention. If we follow Him, we will not walk in darkness. Things will be illuminated for us. He is the light. Follow the light. He is the light. Jesus is the light. Not only that, Jesus is the leader. He is the leader. So we will recognize Him as the light, and we are to follow that. We are to follow the leader. Today, I want to look at John 27. It says, the sheep that are my own hear and are listening to my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. This is so important. The sheep that are my own hear. Listen, one of the things I realize, and the older I get, it's very interesting. I don't hear the way I used to hear. And if there's a lot of background noise, I cannot hear. I can hear maybe someone's talking, but I cannot hear what they're saying, and the clarity is not there. My children will say something to me, Mom, I know you've got to be able to hear what I said, but if the TV is going or there's any kind of background noise, I have to say, what did you say? Repeat yourself. What did you say? And this is the same thing with the Lord. As we follow His voice, this is the thing. We need to follow His voice. And so if we're going to do that, we may have to turn off the background noise, all of the clamoring sounds, the noise, and all of the things that distract us and distort what it is that we are trying, what God is trying to say to us that we need to hear. We may need to get quiet so that we can hear. He says they hear and are listening. One of the problems and one of the reasons we may not be hearing like we need to or able to listen is you can't be running your mouth and listening at the same time. And so I have to say that to myself, Kim, get quiet. Be quiet so that you can listen to what the Lord is saying. He says that we are to listen to His voice. How do we hear his voice? I don't hear him, Kim. I don't hear what he's saying. Get in his word. I'm going to say this every time we get together on this 5 at 5. We must get into his word so that we will hear his voice. We will be able to start recognizing his voice. Am I saying this? Or is this the Lord? Is this something I've heard? We need to be able to decipher. And the only way we're going to be able to do that is that the more we are in his word, the more we're going to recognize his voice. It's about relationship. It is not about religion. It is about relationship. My dad will call me sometimes, and he's got this big sense of humor. He will try to disguise his voice. And because I know him, and because I've spent so much time with him, I don't care, even when the voice seems different, I recognize him. And I say, Daddy, I know it's you. Well, you know what? That's what we need to be saying to the Lord. I know it is you. Again, he says, the sheep that are my own hear and are listening to my voice. And I know them, and the response to knowing his voice is they follow me. Jesus is the leader. Follow him. I pray that this word has blessed you, and I pray you'll share it with someone else. Remember, we're not blessed just to be blessed. We are blessed to be a blessing. Why? Because it brings honor and glory to God. Well, I hope this is something that you'll just meditate on and pass it on. And remember, I love you, and I look forward to seeing you on the next 5 at 5. Be blessed.